Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. Today we'll recap the NBA games from yesterday, as well as NHL and college basketball. Look ahead to everything going on tonight. Soccer, same thing. We'll do NBA trade deadline talk, news and notes, and best bet. All right, NBA. We'll start with that. We'll go over a nice slate from last night. Look ahead to a little bit of a smaller slate tonight. It's only 6 games. Celtics over the Pistons, 111-99. Celts are 38-16. Detroit is 14-41. Cavs over the Wizards, 114-91. Cavs 34-22. Washington 24-29. Clippers over the Nets, 124-116 in the first game without Kyrie Irving after the trade. Clips 31-26. Brooklyn 32-21. Bulls over the Spurs, 128-104. Bulls 26-27. Spurs 14-40. Kings over the Rockets, 140-120. Kings 30-23. Houston 13-41. Mavs over the Jazz, 124-111. Mavs 29-26. Utah 27-28. Warriors over the Thunder, 141-114. Warriors 28-26. Oklahoma City 25-28. And the Bucks over the Blazers, 127-108. The Bucks 37-17. Portland 26-28. All right, tonight's game, 7 o'clock. You have the Knicks at the Magic. Money line's Knicks by 2, total 226. And 19/20. And it's New York by 1.5. Total 225.5. So a slight over. 7:30 TNT Suns Nets. My line is Suns by 5 3/4. Total 225 and 2/5. Devin Booker returns tonight, and it's 5 225. Very close. I'm going to go slight lean to the Suns. Hawks Pelicans, my line is Atlanta by 3/4, so 231. This probably would have been the TNT game if Zion was playing. And it's New Orleans by 2, total 237. I like the under. Bulls Grizzlies, my line is Grizzlies by 7, total 228 and 4/5. And it's 8 235.5 under. Timberwolves Nuggets at 9, my line is Denver 13.5, total 230 and a 10th. And it's 9 235.5 under. And last but not least, can tonight be it? LeBron, will he break the points record tonight? 10 o'clock TNT, Thunder Lakers. My line is the Lakers by 8, so 234 and 3/5. And good on the Thunder for finally getting a nationally televised game. It took until LeBron was on the precipice of making history for the Thunder to get on national TV. But they deserve it. SGA is a star. And 6.5 and 238.5. I like the under in that game as well. All right, now I'll move on to the NHL. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to, I believe it's an 8-game window for tonight. Rangers over the Flames, 5-4 in overtime on a game winner by Alexei Lafreniere. Rangers are 24-14-8. Calgary 24-17-10. Number 3 started game with the Golden Six. Andrew Mingapie. The number 2 started game with 2 goals. Filipino. Number 1 started game with the overtime winner, Lafreniere. Mangiapane, that's Andrew on the Flames. Is correct pronunciation of the last name. I'm sorry about that. Panthers kill the Lightning 7-1. What a win for the Panthers. 25-22-6. Tampa 32-16-1. Number 3 started game at 32 saves on 33 shots. Sergei Bobrovsky, number 2 started game with 2 goals and 2 assists. Connor Verhaeghe, number 1 started game with 2 goals and 3 assists. Matt Tkachuk. Islanders over the Flyers 2-1. Islanders 26-22-5. Philly 21-22-9. Number 3 started game with 25 saves on 26 shots. Semyon Varlamov, number 2 started game with the goal. Kyle Palmieri, number 1 started the game with the goal. Matt Barzal. Devils over the Canucks 5-4 in overtime on a game winner by Jesper Bratt. Devils 33-13-4. Vancouver 20-26-4. Number 3 started game with the overtime winner, Bratt. Number 2 started game with 2 goals, Andre Palat. Number 1 started game with 2 goals and an assist, Jack Hughes. Stars over the Ducks 3-2 in the shootout. Stars 29-13-10. Anaheim 16-29-6. Number 3 started game with 39 saves on 41 shots. John Gibson, who kept Anaheim in that game. Number 2 started game with an assist, Jason Robertson. Number 1 started the game. Didn't have a point Did not participate in the shootout, but played a great defensive game. That's Jamie Benn. Coyotes over the Wild 3-2. Coyotes 17, 28, and 6. Minnesota 27, 18, and 4. Number 3 started game at 33 saves on 35 shots. Karel Vizmelka. Number 2 started game with a goal. Jack McBain. And number 1 started game with 2 goals. Jacob Chychrun. No, it's another 6 tonight. 7 o'clock, you have the Avs and the Penguins. Probably the game of the night. Now that I look at the slate. Defending champs, it's Sidney Crosby. It's always intriguing. It's a pick of -10 each way. Over under 6.5. Overs -108. Unders -112. Avs +1.5 is -65. Pens -1.5 is +210. This is a tough one. I'm going to go with the over. Sharks Lightning. Bolts -235. Sharks +190. Over under 6.5. Overs -122. Unders even money. Sharks +1.5 is -122. Lightning -1.5 is even money. Lightning puck lines to pick. 7:30. Oilers Red Wings. Oilers -166. Red Wings +138. Over under 6.5. Overs -122. Unders -102. Oilers -1.5 is +140. Detroit +1.5 is -172. I'm going to go with Edmonton in regulation at -106. Kraken Islanders. Isles -11. Kraken -1.8. Over under 5.5. Overs -115. Unders -105. Kraken +1.5 is -280. Isles -1.5 is +220. I like Seattle on the road -108. I'm surprised that they're not a slight favorite here. The Golden Knights and the Preds. Pick 'em -110 each way. Over under 6.5. Overs -102. Unders -120. Vegas +1.5 is -65. Preds -1.5 is +210. Vegas has fallen off lately. Give me the Preds at home -110. And last but not least, 8:30 Ducks Blackhawks from Chicago. The Blackhawks are -125. The Ducks are +104. Over under 6.5. Overs +102. Unders -124. Ducks +1.5 is -20. Blackhawks -1.5 is +176. I'm going to go over 6.5 at +102. All right, now we'll do college basketball. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight's slate. Tarleton over Texas Arlington, 69-64. UMass over Hartford, 70-48. Number 19, Miami over Duke, 81-59. Lafayette over Holy Cross, 72-58. Green Bay over Milwaukee, 80-79 in overtime. Idaho State over Northern Arizona, 75-70. Grambling over Alabama A&M, 66-60. Prairie View over Florida A&M, 75-45. Jackson State over Arkansas Plymouth, 88-84 in double overtime. Alabama State over Southern, 73-66. Number 9, Kansas over number 5, Texas, 88-80. Texas Southern over Bethune, 69-62. Alcorn State over Miss Valley State, 81-70. In Northern Colorado beats Weber State, 88-54. All right, 6:30 Fox Sports 1. Number 10, Marquette at number 21, UConn. My line's UConn, 3.5 total, 147 and 3/5. And we got 4.5 and 147.5. Slightly in the Marquette. Big Ten Network, number 24, Rutgers at number 18, Indiana. My line is Indiana by 4.7 total, 137 and 3/10. And it is 4.5 and 135.5. Slight over. 7 o'clock, Cincinnati, Tulane. My line is 2.3, total 149 and 9/10. And it's 1.5 and 152.5 under. Chicago State and Delaware State. My line is Chicago State by 2.5 total, 137 and 7/10. And we got I don't see that game up on the board. Chicago State 4.5 total, 134.5. Over. ESPN UNC Wake. My line is UNC by 3.5 total, 145.5, and it is 149.5, and it's a pick. and 152.5. Spot on everywhere. Carolina needs the game. Give me Carolina minus 110. Louisville Pitt ACC Network. My line is Pitt 12.8 total 140. And it's 15.5 and 139.5. Me Louisville getting the points. Auburn A&M on ESPN2. My line's A&M 2.2 total 138 and 7/20. It's 2.5 and 140.5. Under. Ole Miss Georgia on the SEC Network. My line's Georgia 5.3 total 136 and 17/20. And it's 1.5 and 137.5. I'm gonna lay the points with Georgia. Dayton VCU on CBS Sports Network. My line's VCU 4.7 total 132 and 3/10, and it's 4.5 and 130.5. Slight over. East Tennessee State UNC Greensboro on ESPNU. My line is Greensboro 10.7 total 133.5. It's 9.5 and 127.5. I'll take the over. Ball State and Central Michigan. My line is Ball State 8.3 total 142 and 1/10. It's 8.5 and 139.5 over. Eastern Michigan and Buffalo. My line is Buffalo 7.7 total 155 and 11/20. And it's 9.5 and 160.5. I'm going to take the under. Western Michigan and Miami of Ohio. My line is Miami of Ohio by 2 total 148 and 7/10. And it's 2.5 and 148.5. I'm going to take Western getting the 2.5, but it's slightly in the Western. Toledo, Akron. My line is Akron by 2 total 148 and a quarter, and it's 2.5 and 147.5. Slight over. Bowling Green, Kent State. My line is Kent 14.3 total 145 and 3/5, and it's 13.5 and 148.5. Under. All right, 8:00 Drake, Missouri State. Or in Murray State, not Missouri State. My line's Drake by 6 to 140 and 11/20, and it is 3.5 and 139.5. I'm going to lay the 3.5 with Drake. Ohio and Northern Illinois. My line is Ohio 2.3 to 147 and 4/5. And that is 4.5 and 149.5. I'm going to take Northern Illinois getting the points. 8:30 Fox Sports 1 St. John's Butler. My line is St. John's by 3/10 total 142 and 9/10, and it is Butler 1.5 total 144.5. So I'm going to take St. John's plus 1.5 and plus 102 to win. Number 22 NC State at number 8 Virginia on the ACC Network at 9:00. Mine's Virginia 6.5 total 140 and 3/10 or 3/20. And we got 6.5 and 136.5. I'm going to take the over. Number 17 TCU at number 12 Kansas State on ESPNU. This deserves to be better than ESPNU because ESPN gives favoritism to teams that don't deserve it because they're a big brand and they're underachieving. Looking right at you, Duke and Kentucky and Carolina for this year. And Kansas State, I have 1.2 total 144 and 3/20, and it's 4.5 and 147.5. So the edge I have on TCU is 3.3. The edge I have on the under is 3.35. So I'm going to take the under. Maryland, Michigan State on ESPN2. My line is Michigan State 3.3 total 133 and 19/20. Let's talk about another team that gets favoritism in this scenario. TCU, Kansas State deserves to be on ESPN. But Sparty's getting favoritism too, and what's causing the great Big 12 game to be thrown on ESPNU. I have Sparty 3.3, total 133 and 1920s. I think I said that already. It's 3.5 and 131.5. I will take the over. South Carolina, Missouri on the SEC Network. My line's Missouri 11.8, total 146 and 1120, and it's 15.5 and 146.5. I'm going to take South Carolina getting the points. And on ESPN, Arkansas to Kentucky, a freaking course. My line's Kentucky 4.7, total 140 and 4/5, and it's 5.5 and 137.5. This is the game that should be on ESPN2. I think Maryland Sparty should be on U, and then the mothership should be TCU Kansas State. I'm going to take the over in this game. Rhode Island, St. Louis on CBS Sports Network. My line St. Louis 11.8, total 141.5. That's 11.5 and 142.5. Take a slight under. Colorado State Air Force. My line is Colorado State 1.3, total 138 and 17/20. It's Air Force 1.5, total 135.5. So I'm gonna go with the over in this game. San Jose State, Fresno State at 10 o'clock. My line is Fresno by 0.8, total 130. And it's 3.5 and 126.5. Over. And last but not least, Nevada, New Mexico, 10:30 Fox Sports 1. My line, New Mexico 6.5, total 146. And it's 3.5 and 149.5. I'm going to take the under in this game. All right, now move on to soccer. We'll go over the notable results from yesterday. Look ahead to everything that's going on today. So we'll start with the Italian Serie A results. Verona and Lazio 1-1 draw, and Monza and Sampdoria 2-2 draw. One game today, 2:45 in Italian Serie A. Salernitana and Juventus. Juventus did me good the other day when I took them for best bet. They're minus 210 favorite now. Salernitana is plus 550 in the draws, plus 320. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals at minus 110 for that game. Now we're going to go with the Club World Cup. We have semifinals today, 2 o'clock. It's Flamengo and Al Hilal. Which should be an interesting a very, like I said, interesting game. I'm trying to find the betting stuff for this one. Which I can't find. Here it is. So we got Flamengo's minus 590, Al Hilal's plus 410. I'm going to go under 2.5 goals at minus 110. All right, the English FA Cup. 4th round begins today. Or doesn't begin today, it resumes today. 2:45, you have Fleetwood Town and Sheffield Wednesday. I'm going to pull that up right now. Sheffield's minus 290, Wrexham's plus 650, the draw's plus 370. We're going to go with under 2.5 goals at plus 118. Burnley and Ipswich. Burnley's minus 165. Ipswich plus 420. Draws plus 260. Burnley's been on fire. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals at minus 106. Grimsby Town and Luton. Luton minus 130. Grimsby plus 330. Draw plus 240. I just think Luton's better. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals minus 110. And last but not least, on ESPN 2, Sheffield United and Wrexham. Sheffield's minus 290. Wrexham's plus 650. The draw's plus 370. I'm going to go with under 2.5 goals at plus 118. All right, now we'll do the DFB Pokal. Round of 16, that resumes today. 12 o'clock, you have Sandhausen and Freiburg. Freiburg's minus 230. SV's 5-1. The draw's 320. I'm going to actually go with the draw plus 320. That's intriguing. And at 2:45, you have Frankfurt and Darmstadt. Darmstadt's minus 330. Darmstadt's 5-1. The draw is plus 330. I'm going to go with the draw at 330. Darmstadt's actually been decent of late. All right, now we're just going to do rapid fire stuff. No Mexican League until Thursday. Spanish Liga from yesterday. Rayo over Almeria 2-0. No German Bundesliga until Friday, but the German does have their cup going on. No French League till Friday. And then we did the English FA Cup. So soccer's good for today. All right, now we're going to do some NBA trade deadline chatter. We are just going to go division by division. We'll start with Brooklyn. Obviously, they pulled off the Kyrie Irving deal. They did well in that deal, but I think they could have done better. Like, they could have gotten the Laker pick, or both Laker picks. But Joe Tsai didn't want to send them there. I know some people like when the owner doesn't want to send the player to where he desires to be. But in Kyrie's case, he probably was right to do that, considering the trouble Kyrie got into. But I think the franchise better been served with those Laker picks, personally. But maybe they flipped Dinwiddie into like a bigger piece to go with Durant. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do. And then the Raptors, obviously, it looks like they're not going to trade Siakam. It looks like that they probably could ship out Anunoby. And then the Nets wanted the Raptors in the deal, and the Nets wanted Fred VanVleet. But obviously they couldn't expand the deal, and then it was just official with what they did. The Knicks, I'm surprised that Cam Reddish still hasn't been traded yet. Amazingly enough, I think they're looking at bench upgrades, potentially. Especially at the wing position. The Sixers, Furkan Korkmaz requested a trade. I predicted that he was going to get traded. I think I had him to Sacramento for Rashawn Holmes or to Indiana for TJ McConnell. I don't remember what exactly I did for that. Boston, I think, is a little bit of a wild card. I think their bench needs some help. Let's go to the Central Division. The Bulls are listening on Alex Caruso, but they would have to be blown away by any offer. And they're unlikely to trade Zach LaVine, as the Bulls will not surrender to a package centering around LaVine at the deadline. I think that's a mistake. Indiana, I think it's probably just going to be a McConnell trade. I know that they're involved with Anunoby, but I'd wait till the offseason to do that if I'm Indiana. Or maybe they do it now. Who knows? And then you have the Cavs, who need to upgrade at small forward, as we alluded to a bunch of times. The Bucks are in play for Jay Crowder. They want him. And then you have the Pistons, who are unlikely to deal Bojan Bogdanovic. I don't know why. And then on the other side, in the Atlantic Division, the Miami Heat are obviously going for big guns. Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal. They're trying to deal Kyle Lowry. To open the trading. But they'll make a run at KD or Beal if they cannot trade Kyle Lowry at the deadline. The Hawks, we'll see what they could pull off. They could use some bench help. Another team I'm looking at is Charlotte. We'll see what they can get for those veterans that they've been on the market since October. You also have the Wizards, who are keeping Kyle Kuzma. They better resign then. And then the Orlando Magic, I don't think, are going to do anything. Then the West, the Thunder, I think, could be a surprise buyer. I had them acquiring a big. I forget who I had them acquiring, but I had them making a trade and using the Clippers pick to get a big. I just forgot who I picked for that. I just have to re-listen to my own show. You also have the Blazers. They're a little bit of a wild card. Will they trade Jeremy Grant or not? There's people to think that they might. And we know they're going to keep Anthony Simons, as they look at him as the bridge to the future. You have the Utah Jazz, who I think have for sale signs all over their roster, except for Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler. You have the Nuggets, who are looking to upgrade their bench a little bit too, and I think they could use Bones Highland as a chip. I had them trading Bones Highland to Brooklyn for Patty Mills in a second, I think I said on the show. The Minnesota Timberwolves, I think that they're going to look at bench help. And then we'll do the Southwest Division. The Mavericks pull off the Irving deal. I think they want to do more. The Spurs are going to trade Jakob Poeltl, and they have for sale signs on some of their veterans. I think Doug McDermott's probably a buyout guy. You have the Rockets, who are dying to give away Eric Gordon. He's going to be likely a buyout guy too. You have the Pelicans and the Grizzlies, who I think are going to be fighting head and toe for the big fish. Not only this trade deadline, but in the offseason. Obviously, with Kevin Durant probably available in the offseason. And OG Anunoby's the guy that both those teams are going after right now. And in the Pacific Division, Golden State, I think, is under pressure to make a move. Steph Curry's hurt, and they need reinforcements to keep themselves intact before Steph comes back. The Lakers, obviously, do Hachimura. They miss out on Kyrie. I'm interested to see what else they can pull off. Clippers were in play for Kyrie, but didn't get him. I predicted Mike Conley for them. That just makes a lot of sense. The Suns, I predicted Jay Crowder for Isaiah Hartenstein in a second. That makes a lot of sense. They can use depth at the center position. And Jay Crowder wants out. And then we also have the Kings, who I think are poised to make a move to upgrade themselves. I predicted that Matisse Thybulle was going to go there. Yes, so I had him for Rashawn Holmes, and I had McConnell for Korkmaz and a pick. And then that's it. It's going to be interesting. We're going to do another segment like this tomorrow, and then maybe a pre-one on Thursday on the Thursday show, and then we're obviously going to do the big show on Thursday. All right, now the rest of the news and notes for today. The NBA approves Matt Ishbia's purchase of the Phoenix Suns with a unanimous 29-0 vote. That is wonderful news. The Suns have a new owner, and I think this guy is poised to make some splashes. Kyrie Irving's looking for a 3-year deal, whether that's with another team or an extension with the Mavs. LeBron was upset that the Lakers did not land Kyrie Irving. Of course. The Lakers wanted Kyrie long-term, and the team wasn't willing to trade Austin Reeves or Max Christie if Kyrie wouldn't agree to a $2 for $80 million deal. That makes sense. Kadarius Toney says he'll suit up for the Super Bowl on Sunday. Oh, and one funny thing is that Jacques Vaughn trolled Kyrie Irving with one final Irving injury update. And Patrick Mahomes says that the ankle is definitely better positioned than last week and is feeling better ahead of the Super Bowl. Tom Brady will start at Fox in 2024, as he told Colin Cowherd. AJ Green retires from the NFL. Congrats to him. Great career. Sean Payton says that Russell Wilson having personal coaches around is not going to take place here. Whew. Devin Booker comes back tonight against Brooklyn. That is great news. I think I mentioned that earlier. Kevin Hayes says that he wishes that New York Rangers management gave their core 2 more years before blowing up the team. I think that they blew it up probably 1 year too early. But they did do well in some of the deals, and other deals they did not do so well in. And then the new AP poll is out in college basketball. 1 through 5, Purdue, Houston, Alabama, Arizona, Texas. So Purdue's still number 1, but not unanimous. 6 through 10, Tennessee, UCLA, Virginia, Kentucky. Or, I'm sorry, Kansas, Marquette. If that was really Kentucky, I would have threw up in my mouth. Kentucky shouldn't be ranked. 11 through 15, Iowa State, Kansas State, Xavier, Baylor, St. Mary's. Good for St. Mary's. 16 through 20, Gonzaga, TCU, Indiana, Miami, and Providence. And 21 through 25, UConn, NC State, Creighton, Rutgers, and San Diego State. Others receiving games, Florida Atlantic, they're out because they lost. Duke, Auburn, Clemson, Pitt, Illinois, Nevada, New Mexico, Maryland, Arkansas, Iowa, Missouri, West Virginia, Oral Roberts, USC, Charleston, Northwestern, VCU, Utah State, and Culp, Kentucky. Who voted for Kentucky? John Calipari. And then dropping from the rankings, obviously, FAU, Clemson, and Auburn. And Creighton's back in after a dismal start to their season. Rutgers is in. NC State is in. Biggest bump, Texas, bumping up 5 spots. And the largest drop, Kansas State down 5 spots. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. Yesterday's was a winner with the Rockets going against them, taking Sacramento. There are some that I thought were interesting. I'm going to go with the quarter unit again. There's a few that jumped out to me, but I'm going to go in hockey. There's 2 overs. I like the Avs-Penguins game and the Ducks-Blackhawks. I'm going to go over in Avs-Pens because of the injury to Tristan Jarry. I think that the Avs are going to score a lot. And I think the Pens will score a lot, too. I think the Pens are talented enough offensively to go mano-a-mano with Colorado. So I'm going to lay a quarter unit on over 6.5 at -112. Between the Avs and the Penguins. All right, so that's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. Like I had to a busier day tomorrow in the world of sports. News and notes and best bet. And I have to do an NFL mock draft at some point this week too. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.